When two men tried to catch a free ride atop a freight train one night, they were both met with a tragic end. Although the two hitchhikers had correctly calculated there would be no overhead tunnels along the way, there was something else they hadn't considered. This is the story of the railway hitchhiking tragedy. Forming part of the backbone of the New Zealand railway network is the Main North Railway Line, part of the South Island Main Trunk. Beginning at Christchurch, the largest city in the South Island, the line traverses north up the east coast to Kaikoura, the Marlborough wine region, and then terminates at Picton. The 348km or 216-mile Main North Line was completed in 1945 and plays a significant part in the country's freighting logistics, connecting with the inter-island rail ferries at Picton, where freight is shipped onto the North Island or vice versa. The Main North Line is also one of the world's most scenic, with much of the route following the Pacific coastline, making it a popular journey for tourists aboard the world-renowned coastal Pacific passenger train running between Christchurch and Picton. Dotted along the line are several old, sleepy railway towns from days gone by. Although once serving a vital role in the life of the network, the trains mostly pass through without stopping, and the towns themselves are largely forgotten. One such place is Waipara, a former railway junction 58 kilometres or 36 miles north of Christchurch. Home to around 300 people, apart from an old railway preservation group, the town itself is largely uninteresting. It is, however, the starting point for this strange and tragic story. On Wednesday the 11th of June 2008, 25-year-old Cole Higginson and his 23-year-old friend Nick Uprichard had finished a day's work in the vineyards near Waipara. Cole Higginson was the son of former New Zealand All Black rugby player Graham Higginson. He, like his dad, also played rugby and was described by his coach as full of life and knuckling down after some scrapes with the law. A friend of Nick Uprichard described him as a source of unbridled energy and a mischievous entertainer. No idea seemed too crazy. At around 5 PM that afternoon, a freight train departed Picton for the 7-hour journey to Christchurch. After an uneventful trip south, the train arrived at Waipara around 11 PM, where it made a short stop to cross a northbound freight train. Unbeknown to the train driver, however, Cole Higginson and Nick Uprichard had just climbed on top of a freight wagon to hitch a free ride to Christchurch. With the two men perched atop the JP-class curtain-sided freight wagon like the one on screen, the train set off again for its final 1-hour run south to Christchurch. Travelling at a top speed of 90 kilometres or 56 miles per hour, the ride up top would have been windy and rather cold at that time of year. Although the boys had correctly calculated there would be no tunnels on the journey, what they likely hadn't considered, however, were the numerous footbridges in the northern suburbs of Christchurch. At around 12 AM, approximately 1 hour since departing Waipara, the train was powering through the outer limits of the city. Still perched atop a freight wagon, Cole Higginson and Nick Uprichard were likely planning their escape once reaching the Middleton freight yard. However, unbeknown to them, they were on a collision course with destiny. The Brindoir footbridge, with a mere 50 centimetres of clearance, was now fast approaching. Likely sitting upright, certain all hazards were behind them, the bridge was impossible to see in the dark of night. When the train passed underneath, both men struck the bridge. Moving at such speed, the impact was instantly fatal. Upon reaching the Middleton freight yard around 10 minutes following the incident, blood seeping down the curtain-sided freight wagon caught the attention of yard workers, who immediately summoned a team leader. Arriving on the scene shortly after the call, the team leader climbed the back of the wagon where he made the gruesome discovery. In the days following the incident, police were unsure of the exact bridge the men had struck. Because both men wore hooded sweatshirts with the hoods up, there was a lack of physical evidence left on the bridge. Further investigation by police concluded that the culprit was the Brindwa footbridge in the northern suburbs of Christchurch. Detective Senior Sergeant John Ray of the New Zealand Police Force said the possibility the boys had done this before could not be ruled out. Kevin Ramshaw, the public affairs manager for OnTrack who maintains the rails in New Zealand, said the company received monthly calls regarding people hitching rides. A toll rail spokeswoman, Sue Foley, said there was little point in changing procedures. There's nothing we can do. It's like playing Russian roulette.